Hi everyone, let's talk about Seize the Bean, which I've been going out and about for quite a while actually. I talked about it in the UK Games Expo preview and forgot to go over there. And then I've met Dylan in Essen, who is the creator, the co-designer. And yeah, now it's finally here and I get to play it. And I've really enjoyed this. I tend to like, I was on board for the theme to begin with. It's not done as much. There's Coffee Roaster. I think there's a new little card game involving coffee, but there's not really that theme. Not that I'm, really enamored by the theme itself. I don't drink coffee. I'm not really very bothered by coffee shops, but it's just not seen as much. So I'm interested for that reason. And I really like deck builders, but it's only when I started really delving into the rules and actually playing the game that, wow, this is a really different deck builder, because the deck that you're building is the queue, of the customers that are going to come out, and you're never quite sure what day they're going to arrive on. And, if you can really satisfy them, they're going to come back day by day. The way that the game works really fits in with the theme of it and the running of this shop. I really like that. As I mentioned, you can give customers great patience and, satisfy them extra by having musicians around, which are just a type of card that happen to be in, the demo game. You can satisfy them, and they've had such a good experience that they're going to come back the next day. And on the other hand, when customers get really angry and they leave bad reviews, then it's based on how many bad reviews you've already gotten in the game so far. So if you've gotten 3 or less, I think it is, they think, oh, he's just had a bad day. I just caught them on a bad day, so I'm going to come back another day, and they go back into your discard pile. But if you've got more than 3 already, then they think, I heard about this place and I've seen it for myself now, and they get discarded back into the city pile out of your deck. And that's just a really nice little touch. A lot of these things, the fact that it's such a silly thing to go on about, but I really love these. That the points tokens are these 5-star reviews here, and that the negative points are bad review tokens. So many things in here really just fit with the theme of it and just add to the flavour of the game. But the core thing itself, I really like. When you're going on a standard round, so not the first or the last rounds, you are, you've got these customers in a line. You can see what you need. You need to serve them as best you can, which does lead to a little bit of a negative point, which is kind of happens in other deck builders as well. You can end up, if you are a person that's got a lot of bonuses for drawing extra customers and has high fame, so you're going to draw a lot at the end of the round anyway. That's kind of a risky way to go about it, because you don't exactly know what's going to come out, and you can't really keep up with the resources that you need to, sustain that. So it's not, the way to go, the only way that you can go about it. But if you do that, you can end up with a situation where everybody is waiting for you. You have a really interesting puzzle of, you've got all of these customers. How am I going to divide this up? Who am I going to leave angry? Can I sort that out? You have a really interesting puzzle. Everyone else, though, that's got a normal amount of customers in front of them is sitting waiting for you. It's just a little thing, and it's true of, when we play Dominion, I am the kind of person that wants all of the cards. My aim isn't necessarily to win all of the time in Dominion. My aim is to try and draw my deck into my hand sometimes, which can be very frustrating for Rachel, who doesn't want to do that and just wants to play a normal game of Dominion and not have to sit around while I go, okay, I've got 1 more action, 3 more cards, 3 more cards. Anyway, that's just a tiny thing, and it's present in many other deck builders anyway, but it's just something to be aware of. Yeah, I really like, so we're serving all of our customers, then we decide, and this decision in the beginning, it's not that much of a decision. What are you going to get? You don't really need the resources for the first couple of turns if you're playing the basic game. I've mentioned somewhere in the playthrough, in the advanced game, your deck starts as a discard pile. So any customers you get in the first round are going to be shuffled in, and you might not necessarily be able to serve them if you didn't get resources in the beginning. That's a really nice thing as well, because it sets you up kind of comfortably in the basic game. It gives you all of the resources that your first 4 customers are going to be after, so it doesn't matter what order they come out, they're going to be served even if you don't get resources. But yeah, it's quite open in the beginning. You can kind of work up and get upgrades and things and be kind of safe. But as soon as you start to introduce those new customers into your actual deck, and maybe your fame comes up, or you've got bonuses that get you more and more customers, like Marty's thing got out of control. He had such high fame, and then had, the musicians that give you patience tokens that let people stick around for multiple days, and then he draws 5 extra people on top of that, and then the powers of some of the people are, the walk-in customers that meant more customers were coming in that day, and he didn't even have enough resources for the customers that he had. So yeah, these things just combo off really, really nicely. And this is just the basic game where, you know, you just, as I haven't said so far, this is on Kickstarter right now. Link is in the description to go to the campaign page to check out, you know, the final thing. This is all prototype stuff I'm messing around with. But yeah, this is just the prototype game where there are 6 different sets of customers, which have, you know, 6 different sets of upgrades and product cards. And they're all shuffled in to make the decks that we saw in the playthrough. You know, they are aiming to have more and more of these customer types. I assume based on, you know, stretch goals, they hopefully be more and more of them. And you will, you know, pick, you know, 6 out of these, shuffle them all together, and have your own unique game and change up the way that deck builders do. Really, really excited about that different thing, because the way that these customer groups work in very, very radically different ways, and so, you know, combining them together with different sets will hopefully make an even more different game. But yeah, so that thing where it can end up some people taking really, really long serve turns and some people not, it's just a very, very minor thing, really. That's about the only thing that I haven't really, that's kind of a little bit of a minor complaint. Again, it's a work in progress. It's still, you know, it's still prototype stuff, and I'm only seeing the basic stuff here. So, you know, go to the Kickstarter page, and I'm basing all of this off a prototype. But I've really, really enjoyed this. It's another one of those different deck builders where it's taking the core concept and doing something very unique with it, but as well, it absolutely fits in with the theme, I think, and I've had a really, really fantastic time with it. And as I said, I want the full game. I want to see all of these different types interacting with each other and to see what else gets added. You know, the scoop thing is a nice touch as well for people that, like, I would, you know, feel quite miffed if I kept scooping just 2 beans or something at a time. But you can, instead of just taking a certain number of beans, you can use a scoop. It's not going to be this one, but you can use a scoop and scoop out the coffee beans, and however many you get, that's how many you got for that action rather than a set number. But these are really nice as well. These sugar cubes, you know, you saw them in the playthrough, didn't you? You know, the sugar cubes and milk tokens, these are, you know, these are planned for, I assume, a stretch goal, because, you know, it could just come with cubes that represent these things instead. But they are really, really nice, especially the sugar cubes. They're amazing. But they're all 3D printed things, and hopefully they're going to be put into the game. But I don't really have much more to say. I've really, really enjoyed this, and yeah, go and check it out for yourself. Watch the playthrough and see if it will be one for you. That's Seize the Bean. Thanks for watching, everyone. I'll see you for the next game. Bye.